I think as we get ready to talk about the big news when I woke up this morning early about Aaron Judge, I think we were spot on the whole way. We talked about it. A lot of people thought he was on his way. I don't think you ever thought he was leaving. I didn't think he was leaving.
Nope.
I didn't. I really didn't. And I didn't think it would be about money with the Yankees, right, who anteed up.
Right. It should. It should never be about money with
right,
them.
Right. And it wasn't. And we'll talk about it. I also give him credit, Chris. The Padres came out of nowhere. $400 million.
Yeah, I was going to ask. So they offered $400 over 10.
Yep.
Yankees he settled with the Yankees for $360 over 9.
And
what did the
Giants the same offer as the Yankees, the same one to go home, 9 for $360, and he picked the Yankees. So he could have left. You know what I mean? Like the Giants had an offer that was equal to the Yankees, and the Padres. I don't know where. They signed Machado to 300, Tatis to 320. Chris, they had 400 on the table for Judge. They got Soto there, who turned out 440. I'm just looking at it.
They got
like,
money. Well, hey, it is baseball. There's no cap.
No, I know, but my God,
they want to win.
But it says a lot about Judge, though. And you've talked about this before, about not always taking the most money. And I brought up Jack Curry from the Yes Network, and he used to work at the New York Times. And I thought what he said was right.
Well, I'm going to ask you on that because you always rip me when I say it's not about taking every last dime. So we'll get to that. Yeah. I want to hear your answer on that. But
it ain't that big of a difference.
Hold on. No. We going to get to it because I've said it's never that big of a difference, You said it, Rob. Aaron Judge stayed in New York. Now, like I said, I don't want to make this about you.
No.
But you did throw it out there. You're praising Judge for staying. But every time I say, you know what, if you're happy where you're at, if it's a few bucks less, I would take that to stay if I'm happy, as long as, money's close, it's not crazy different. But you always rip me for that. You always say the player has the responsibility of getting every last dime because the owners are billionaires and it sets a precedent. Did Judge let his fellow players down by not taking the, every last dime he could get?
No, because he's the highest paid position player in the history of the game. So, no, he didn't let anybody down. He didn't take under market value, Chris. I'm talking about when guys take under market value. That's when you hurt your fellow.
Rare.
I'm just saying, but that's what I'm against. He set the market.
So you're not against. Is it not true that when I've said I would take a little less money,
I jump on you because you're talking about if it helps the team or
I haven't said that. It's solely been because I'm happy. If I'm happy somewhere, I'm not just up and moving from a place I'm happy with. They respect me. They're paying me fairly. Just to get a few more dollars somewhere else. That's what I'm saying.
I always took it as under market value, or the idea that you're giving somebody a discount and not making what you're supposed to. Tom Brady was never the highest paid quarterback in the league. I think that was a mistake. He should have been.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
He's got 7 rings. He's got gobs of money. How in the world is that a mistake?
Yeah, he should have.
He's made more money than any other quarterback ever.
Yeah, he's played 40 years. Yeah, sure he did.
23, but still.
Okay.
That's
but
my
it's
point.
about the years.
He's fine.
It ain't about that. But anyway, let's not get off track.
No, right. All right. But anyway, so here's my thing on Judge. I think it was a smart move to stay. I think with the Yankees, you and I have talked about it before. Now, obviously, going to the Giants is not like going to Seattle. We've mentioned Robinson. No. He kind of fell off the map. The Giants are a historic franchise. They've won
3 World Series
since the Yankees, right? Won last one.
Yep.
And San Diego, while they're not what the Giants are, they are an up and coming. I mean, more than up and coming, right? They got a bunch of young stars. With him, they could have been the new hotness. And they might be the new hotness as it is, right?
Because they beat the Dodgers, don't forget, Chris, without Tatis.
Without Tatis.
And he's coming back in May. And you're right. If they had added Judge to that lineup, are you kidding?
Yeah, it would have been crazy. But in baseball, I just feel like the Yankees is especially when you've been there, It's the place to stay. He can be, you said it with Jack Curry saying he could be the next Derek Jeter. Here's the thing, though, Rob. You got to win now. And I don't say this often in baseball because baseball is, I think, among the three major sports, it is the most dependent as far as a player. Like, obviously, football is as well. But even in football, a quarterback can make a huge difference. Baseball, heck, Rob, you can hit 500. And if you don't have the pieces around you, it's not going to matter. You're not going to win.
No,
you could be the greatest pitcher ever. And if you don't have the hitting, you're not going to win. Or even other pitchers, right? Because you're only out there once every 5 days.
Ted Williams is considered one of the all-time great hitters. Went to the playoffs, Chris, like 2 times in his entire career.
Right.
Never got to the World Series. Never won anything, because the Red Sox weren't that good.
Back then, it was different.
You just remember you won the league and you went straight to the World Series. There was no playoffs. Right. So he only went twice, I think, to the World Series. Twice.
But Barry Bonds, Rob, no World Series ring.
Right.
Greatest player you and I have seen. We've both said that.
And he went to the World Series 7 games when he was with the Giants, and they lost in 7 to the Angels. And Chris, in that World Series, I think Bonds batted .380. So he did his part.
He was great. Right.
But the pitching.
Rod Carew was one of my favorite players growing up. Never won success. But here's where I will put the caveat, Rob. It's different with the Yankees. The Yankees, because of the way they've spent, because of their history, you gotta win. If Aaron Judge, and again, this is one reason I will give him credit. If he had gone to the Giants, Rob, of course they would have wanted to win, and they may have won.
But it wouldn't be the same.
No. If he didn't win, it wouldn't have been like terrible. Same thing with San Diego. Heck, I'd say just anywhere. But if with the Yankees, he has got to win. Who's the best Yankee never to win? Mattingly?
Mattingly played all those years, Chris. He retired. They won the next year. That's when they won. In 96. Can you believe it? In 95, they lost to the Mariners in the playoffs. The next year, they won the World Series in 96. That reminds me of Tiki Barber with the Giants.
And Mattingly doesn't get the love.
No.
I mean, he doesn't get that Yankee love that he would have got had he won. As great as he was.
Winfield didn't win when he was in New York. He won when he was with the Blue Jays, so he did win a World Series. But, and Steinbrenner called him Mr. May. You remember that?
Right. And so, Rob, he's got to win. I mean, obviously, he's got to stay healthy and stay healthy, but there's no excuse. I don't want to hear about the health. I don't want to hear about the pitching. I mean, I'm just saying this is New York.
No, he's expected
to. Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
No,
right?
To validate himself as a Yankee and to go down as one of the all-time greats. He don't have to win 4 championships.
No.
He don't have to win 5 like Jeter or 10 like Mickey Mantle. Like that's not the expectation.
Right.
But he's got to have that moment in that situation where they win. He's the face. They're going to name him captain, Chris, I think soon. Jeter was the last captain. It ain't like they've only had like about 5 or 6. That often. But he's one of those guys who's worthy. So I don't disagree that during his stretch, the next 4 or 5 years, because that's a 9-year contract.
9.
The first 5, I'm expecting big things. The last 4, Chris, crapshoot. You don't know what you're going to get.
Fair. Rob, A-Rod, and obviously he's tainted because of the PEDs.
But he won.
But he still won in New York.
And Chris, in 2009.
It means a lot for his legacy, don't you think?
There's no doubt. If he didn't win, it would be worse.
In New York. Yeah, I mean, he gets a lot of love in New York.
And if you remember 2009, people don't remember. I think A-Rod had 3 big home runs, Chris.
Yeah, he was big.
That tied the game or put them ahead. Like it was always like a tying home run in the 9th inning or something. He had 3 big home runs during that stretch. Yep. He was amazing.
Yep. So that's the charge for Derek Jeter. I'm sorry, for Aaron Judge.
No, but you know what? That Freudian slip, but you said it right, because that's who he reminds me of.
Absolutely. I mean, even in it shouldn't be about this, but even to the point of being biracial.
Right. They're both the same.
Every looks somewhat, it's just clean cut, great player, can be the face of the league, certainly one of them. Yeah. He really
great
is
personality.
Like
He respects the history of the Yankees, Chris. Like he's fan friendly. Like you never hear anybody badmouth Aaron Judge for being like a bad guy. He's what you want if you're going to put that kind of money down on a franchise type player.
Absolutely. So now the quest for the ring begins. All right.